Write this where you'll see it this week. Patience in motion is still progress. The hardest part about growth isn't always the work, it's waiting for the work to work. We're in just wrapping up our third week in this Leading Through Change series. And last week we focused on strategic consistency. And, where we are in this is building systems that carry you when willpower fades. And today we layered on trust. It's one thing to be consistent and another to keep going whenever the results are delayed. Most mid leaders, they actually lose momentum when they're in that not yet zone, that waiting zone. We get bored, frustrated, and start tinkering. But just because we can't see growth doesn't mean it isn't happening. Some seasons are for roots and some are for growing. And when we plant a seed, we don't expect overnight that the whole plant's going to be there and you have vegetables or trees that are fruit bearing grapefruit. We know that underground, everything is happening, even if we cannot see it. Bamboo is a perfect example of this. For years of watering with little to show, and then a sudden surge. While it looks like an overnight success, it's not. It really took a very long time, and the roots are so quiet, but it's building a great foundation. So, leadership is a long game. Process builds what pressure will later reveal. You can't shortcut trust or accelerate mastery. Every shortcut eventually taxes your credibility. The process isn't punishment, it's preparation. New hires are a classic test for this. We expect instant relief, and instead, you have to slow down and teach. This is a normal dip in the production. And well, it's up to us to decide later on whether this dip is just the dip before a strong curve of uplift, or is this possibly cul-de-sac? I don't know, but you can read more about that in Seth Godin's book called The Dip, one of my favorites. Patience isn't passivity, it's disciplined perseverance. We get to measure progress by direction, not by distance. Trust the systems. You built these systems, and the point isn't to move fast, it's to move faithfully. Together, we're going from solo to together. Teams may move slower at first, but they multiply the output with time. Here's a challenge for you. Pick one area where frustration is replacing faith. You can ask yourself these three questions. Where am I forcing results instead of following the process? The second one is, what's the next faithful step? Not the fastest one. And number three, what will I do daily to reinforce systems I have already built? You know, we get to recommit to the process over the outcome for the next week. And challenge would be to not try to fix anything just for 7 days. See what happens. You could do a 90-second reflection and then just do it. Don't plan it. What process are you resisting? Where have you been mistaken? What is wasting time, or are you waiting? And what can you trust today that you just can't see the results of yet? Tony Gaskins reminded us to trust the process. Your time is coming. Just do the work and the results will handle themselves. Predictable leadership stills and calms uncertainty. Your team doesn't need perfect conditions. They need your consistency and your presence. Next week, we're going to be launching the next mini series on resilience and stress management. We're going to start with balance, which is something that we're all seeming to looking for, but we can't seem to find it. And we'll talk about why. So today, steady your storm. And as the year-end pressure rises, I'm Mignon Hooper, your host and founder of Platinum Life Coaching. Thank you so much for watching this quick recap on leading to the benchmarks. If you think that coming to our live session where you could actually participate in the conversation might be a good help for you, or someplace that you'd like to participate, it's completely free, no extra committal. We just would like for you to come in and join our community portal. Click the link below. It's the Leading to the Benchmarks, LttB, I think something like that. It's down below. Come join us. We look forward to seeing you live in our Zoom room, 9:30 Eastern on Monday mornings. We open the Zoom room at 9:25 just for some quick conversation. We start right at 9:30 and we are done and out by 9:55 a.m. so you can get to that 10 a.m. meeting. All right. Have an amazing day and we'll see you in the room.